Give me a break, man. Give me a break, man. Let's watch Victor from Japan.
Hello there, YouTube. Welcome to the Gimmeabreakman channel, the new Gimmeabreakman channel. Well, it might not be new to you. Let me explain why I'm saying this. I recently have decided, due to a very negative experience I'm having with my network, which is supposed to be handling me, Maker Studios, to stop posting on Gimmeabreakman, which they control. They basically, they're taking 30% of all my AdSense over there. It's a long, boring story. This is a first world problem. I know you don't care about this, but I'm just telling you so you know why I'm doing this. And just in case you are interested in signing with a network, I would really think carefully before doing that, because personally, I've had no good experiences. I'm not a huge YouTuber, but I get 500,000 views on Gimmeabreakman every month, and really terrible service. Really, I mean, they basically ignore me. So instead of working every month and giving them 30% of all the money that comes to Gimmeabreakman, I've decided to just stop posting over there and start posting on Gimmeabreakman. And I'm going to try to do things a little bit differently every time, right? Got this stupid t-shirt, the same as lame, which I've been told, not directly, but will soon become some kind of annoying, insulting t-shirt to people who are lame. It's PC bullshit. But anyway, I'm gonna do my best to keep doing new stuff and keep entertaining you. Now, for those of you who are new to the Gimmeabreakman channel, this is kind of the rejuvenated Gimmeabreakman channel. If you don't know about this, I do something called laundry vlogs. And I thought I should introduce this because some of you just don't know what it's about. And a laundry vlog consists of this. Okay, hold on a second. We have a glass. See, a glass. This says Glenlivet. And well, what do we have back here? We have a guy with glasses. Just a minute. He's not important. We have, oh my God, look at this. A bottle of Glenlivet. Yes, a beautiful 18-year-old bottle of Glenlivet. And I'm going to christen this channel today with this beautiful bottle that was given to me by one of you lovely subscribers. I don't know if he wants me to mention his name. It's kind of a strange story, actually. After Maggie, my dog, died, my wonderful puppy, we miss her still, even though she's only been gone about a month. She's been gone a month now, a month and a week or so. But after she died, one of my subscribers thought that he just wanted to thank me for all the videos, and I guess he just thought it was it's a nice gesture. And he sent me this bottle all the way from England, and I've never seen a bottle delivered in such a manner. It was pretty amazing, actually. It came in this huge box with I can't open it, with bubble wrap everywhere. It's pretty cool, actually. And I thought, wow, you can pretty much send anything if you pack it this way. I mean, all this huge bubble wrap too. It wasn't like the little shitty bubble wrap. Huge bubbles, like every time you pop one, it's like a shotgun, Because of course you got to pop the bubbles, right? So he sent me this beautiful bottle, and I got to say, and I was touched, and I thought I'm going to wait for a really nice time to open it. So if he's watching, I'll send him a link. I don't know if he wants to be, like I said, I don't know if some people don't want their names to be mentioned. I've had a few people like that. So anyway, I have been using the glass with cheaper versions, but what I do here, this is just to explain. I do something called laundry videos on this channel. And what that consists of is me opening up a bottle of something, or cracking open something that's already open, reopening. Oh, you hear that sound? Ooh, that's nice. And drinking as I talk to you, and let my mind wander about whatever I'm talking about. Often, what I will be doing is addressing a lot of your questions and such. And I guess I could do that now. I could be doing now. I got a chair over here. Thought I would just do a standing up vlog for a little bit, Show you the room a little bit for those of you who don't know. Whoa, here we go. And let's get back here. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on the Gimmeabreakman channel. Cheers as I christen this new channel. This old channel, which has become new again. Look at my face. That is some smooth ass whiskey. That's some nice, oh my God, single malt Scotch whiskey. Whiskey with a Y, not with an EY. That was smooth. You see that? I took a big gulp. Didn't even faze me. It's pretty good. Highly recommend this. Really good. So, without further ado, this is the first laundry vlog. I guess I will just start by haphazardly, not haphazardly, but randomly letting the mind wander, telling you various things that are happening, pointing out stuff that are unimportant but also fascinating. Also, usually with these laundry vlogs, today's a little bit different, but usually with the laundry vlogs, I tell you, hey, you don't have to watch, just listen. Do your laundry. That's why they call laundry vlogs. First of all, as in the spirit of doing new things and improving the channel, I've gone out and I've gotten this. Look at that. It's a Sony HX 400V. It's a bridge camera, which is a combination of a, I don't know if you can see that over there. Behind, can you see that? You can see it back there, right? That's my Canon SLR, which I usually use. This is going to be different. This is going to be for going out and traveling, and it's got a 50 times zoom lens, which is amazing. If you haven't checked it out, it is a really phenomenal camera. So, anyway, I'll be using that in the near future. I'll be doing an unboxing, so look for that, and a test, and you're going to be impressed. It is an amazing camera. But you can watch. I mean, how do I know that? Because I've seen YouTube videos about that. So anyway, that's coming soon. That should provide you with a lot of fun. Let's get to what I usually do, which is answer questions. Okay, so I've got a page open here. Now, remember, do not send me questions on my YouTube. If you're going to send me questions, post them to reddit/r/moronarmy, or you can send me an email at Gimmeabreakman@gmail.com. Okay. The first question today comes from someone who asked me not to mention his name, not to even read this, but I thought it might be useful. He's coming to Nagoya in a couple of weeks, and he wants to know what's good to see here. Nagoya is a great city to live in, but there's not really much to see in the way of tourism. It's a great centralized location, so if you're living here like I am, you can easily pop out to other cities quite quickly. So it's a good sentence. It's nicely located, but I wouldn't recommend anyone come here to just hang out for a week. There's not that much to do. A couple days, go breeze through. There's other cities in Japan that are just much more interesting. But if you're going to be here, Osukannon, I would say, is one of the best places to visit. Osukannon. Osukannon. That's pretty much it. I mean, there are lovely little neighborhoods that you can walk around. Atsuta Jingu is also nice. The zoo is okay. Nagoya Castle is beautiful from the outside. It's a wonderful, beautiful view from the outside. And of course, if you're here during Hanami season, the parks are beautiful. There's a few parks here. Tsurumai Koen or Meiji Koen are gorgeous. But there are other cities that provide pretty much the same thing. So I wouldn't say there's any reason to come here, just for that. Restaurants, yeah, there are tons of good restaurants, but they're always changing, and it really depends on you. I don't really recommend restaurants because there's so many different kinds. What are you looking for? Are you looking for Western stuff? Are you looking for Italian? Are you looking for real Japanese stuff? And in that area, there are tons of different price levels. So what I would do is just look online for a recommendation, something that's got 5 stars, and just go there. That would be my recommendation. And that's the first answer. Okay, next. Kemushi-chan, another YouTuber, will be coming next Wednesday, and I'm going to interview her on Wednesday at my school. If you happen to be in Nagoya next Wednesday, 7 p.m., we're also going out to an izakaya afterwards. Hit me up. I'll give you information about that. Okay, another guy, Mikey, SK Gaming, just says thank you. And he appreciates all the videos. Just a thank you, not a question. That's great. Thank you for saying thank you. Ruby says she hopes I'm healthy. And let me see. She doesn't want to. She's shy. Let me see. What is this? Okay. And after seeing my last video, she wanted to respond. She said, She said there's a rare no, she didn't say rare. There's a saying in Hebrew, which translates roughly to, God grant me the serenity to accept that. Okay, so I'm sorry. I give you some context. So a couple videos back on the Gimme Flakman channel, which is now a dead channel, I did a video called, I don't know what it was called. I don't understand idiots, something like that. And basically I was ranting about, people that bug me. And she said, she said I should keep this in mind. She's sending me a quote. She's giving me advice, unsolicited advice. But what do they say? Be careful of the advice you buy, but be thankful of those who give it to you for free. Is that the way expression? I don't remember. Anyway, here's the saying that she says. There's a saying in Hebrew which is translated roughly, God grant me the serenity to accept to accept what cannot be changed, the courage to change what can be changed, and the wisdom to distinguish between the two. I don't think that's a Hebrew thing. I think that's pretty international. Or maybe it was originally Hebrew, but I don't think anyone knows that anymore. So yeah, I realize you can't change a lot of people, and dealing with idiots is part of life. But though I am often happily proved wrong, as in, I tend to think that I'm not going to be able to reach somebody, but often, I was wrong. That person comes around and says, hey, you're right. And that happens to me too. But often when I give in, when I say, hey, you're right about blah, 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 they often just want me to fuck off. Yeah, so there's that as well, Anyway, thanks for that quote. Let's see, what's the next question? Okay, here's a question for someone. What is this about? Oh no, that's just spam. Some guy from Nigeria trying to send me money again. Okay, let's see. Another Nigerian. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. A friend of mine, his cat recently died. He was 18 years old. Really sad. I don't know if he wants me to talk about that on 20 years old. That's amazing. That's 102 years in human years, apparently. So that's really sad. I don't know if he really wants me to mention that on camera, so I won't. I won't mention his name. Okay, let's see. There's a new guy named Alex who says, "Hey, I posted this video." Oh yeah. So here's something. Here's a question I get a lot. I often film outside in public. I'm walking around with the camera, using GoPro camera or whatever, filming in public, and I never get hassled. People often wonder about that. They think, first of all, occasionally I get a criticism like, you shouldn't do that. Japanese don't like being filmed. But the truth is, no one has ever stopped me. No one has ever even given me a dirty look. People don't seem to care. I'm walking around filming. People seem to be fine. Even if I have the camera stuck to my head or on my chest, using the chest mount, excuse me. Generally speaking, people are okay with me filming. Now, this guy's in Texas, and I'll try to remember to link it in the description, but he was filming. Some guys came by in a car, harassed him. He told them to go suck my, he said, suck my, and they got out of the car, and he got it on film. And you think, it looks like the guy's going to get his ass kicked. Not the best way to handle that kind of situation, I would say. But anyway, the question is, what do they do in Japan? Basically, nobody bothers you. However, you're usually not allowed to film in stores, and often people will put signs that say no camera, because of a lot of foreigners do it. A lot of foreigners like doing that. But when it comes to walking around and blogging, I'm not embarrassed. I do it. I understand that some of you are, but I'm not. And you're watching my videos and you're enjoying them, so don't sweat it, I mean, don't get stuck on that, oh, why aren't you embarrassed kind of question. Just because I'm not. I've done it a bunch of times. What's the point of being embarrassed? If you're embarrassed, you can't get anything done, right? So there you go. Next question from Corey. Okay, now we're getting into a lot of heavy questions here. Hello, my name is Corey. I'm 22 years old. I'm from Ohio, America. Is there a Ohio in another? Tell me if there's an Ohio in another country. Ohio, by the way, is the way we say good morning in Japanese as well. Ohio. Anyway, he's from America, misspelled, by the way. And I will graduate and move to Japan in about 3 months. Well, that's good. At least your spelling problems probably haven't. Maybe that was just a typo. I have some questions for you concerning school and personal life. First, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I should have talked about this. Okay. Oh, no big deal. I didn't say his last name. But anyway, he's gay. And yeah, I'm sorry. That was a little sexist of me or homophobic of me to even suggest that I should hide that, right? There's nothing wrong with being gay, right? Anyway, he says, when I moved to Japan, I want to earn my PhD in Japanese literature at a Japanese university by 30 years old. By the time I'm 30, he should have said. Then I want to teach Japanese literature at a university, or preferably high school. How do I get into a Japanese university? First of all, wow, that is quite an ambitious plan. I really doubt. You know what? You could teach Japanese literature at a Japanese university if you're teaching foreigners or if you're doing the class in English. I highly doubt they would hire you to teach Japanese literature in Japanese, even if your Japanese was really good. Yeah. So, but it's possible. How do I get into a Japanese university? I don't know why people ask me these questions. You apply. Go to the admissions office and ask them. I don't know how you would do that. You bring your transcripts. Bring a copy. Okay, bring your diploma. Bring your transcripts over. Bring a notarized copy of your diploma too, because you're going to want a few, because you're going to want to leave them and mail them into certain applications. Is it cheap enough to where I can pay my tuition out of pocket if I'm willing to give up a lot of my daily expenses? Yeah, compared to American universities, Japanese universities are cheaper. Though I hear that I think in Sweden and a lot of European countries, and until even in England back in the day, not now, I understand, but it used to be free. I think that in Finland as well, I'm pretty sure Finland's free. I think that says a lot about a country a country that pays for your university is just amazing. In Japan, apparently it's subsidized, and the universities are cheaper than American universities, but it still costs a bit of money. I would say it's affordable. It's affordable if you're making, let's say low end, you're making $2,500 a month, or nijigoman, which is 250,000 yen. You can probably, if you're careful, you can live off half of that comfortably. Even go out and have a couple drinks, and then you can save the money or use it to pay for your university. So yeah, it's possible. Let's see. If not, how does a foreigner go about applying for loans in a university? Again, talk to your university. Just go there and ask them, do you have any services for gold? Can I get a loan? Can I get a scholarship? It happens. One of my students recently just got a $30,000 scholarship to study English in a university, in a master's program or PhD program in Ohio, ironically, yes. Is my goal of receiving a PhD at a university by 30 realistic? Yeah, he's 22, of course. Concerning my personal life, I am a gay male, and I'm wondering how are gays seen in Japan. They're not seen. They're basically ignored. If you're gay and you're a gaijin, people tend to be more. We have the gaijin pass, people tend to be more forgiving and accepting of whatever we do, because they realize that it's different. And that's one of the things that I often mention to people. I grew up in the States being one of the only Hispanics in my high school. And because I was one of the only Hispanics, I didn't even realize, which this is going to sound really stupid and show you how much I lacked self-awareness or whatever, or how unaware I was of my appearance. But I didn't even realize I looked Hispanic until I went to New York City. I was walking down the street and people would start coming up to me and speaking to me in Spanish. They'd say, "Oye, ¿qué hora son?" And I would be like, "What time is it? How did you know I speak Spanish?" And they were like, "No me cagas, right? What are you shitting me?" Kind of stuff. I never realized it. But later in life, after I got out of my high school, I guess my high school was kind of a bubble. After I got out of my high school, people would ask me all the time, "Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from?" And I would say, I'm from Colorado, or I'm from New York, whatever. But they would ask me, "Where are you really from? Where are you really from?" So in Japan, you don't get that really from. People understand you're a foreigner, and that's it. You're accepted. You can do whatever the hell you want. You're not expected to really change, right? In the States, people want you to behave like everyone else, pretty much. Be American. Anyway, so he says my biggest life. So anyway, in Japan, if you're gay, you're gay. There's a big the bigger the city, of course, the more lively the gay community is. From what I understand, it's quite healthy in Tokyo. In Nagoya, there's no gay bar per se, but my brother used to go, I think once a month or twice a month, they had a gay night at a particular nightclub. And he would always go there because he said, the women were easy pickings, That's not really what he said, but in summary, that's kind of what he said, right? And if you are that kind of guy, anyway, he would go in the music, and he said the music was really good. He was really into that house kind of music, club music, whatever. So there is a gay community here in Nagoya as well. We have about, I would say less than 3 million people live here, so it gives you an idea. This is the 4th largest city in Japan. We have Tokyo, Yokohama, Osaka, then Nagoya, then I don't know, maybe Kyoto or who knows. Anyway, so I imagine those cities probably have an even healthier homosexual community. Okay, let me go on. My biggest goal in Japan, in life, is to go to Japan, find a boyfriend, and settle down. Is that looked down on, or should me and my partner conceal it? I think if you're living with a guy in a house for a long time, it's going to be pretty hard to conceal it. People are pretty much going to figure out what you are. I don't think people care, especially if you have a house. Nobody cares. I have a house now. I live in a house now. Before we bought this house, we lived in an apartment just actually down the street 2 blocks away. And our neighbor's gay. But we never talked about it. We never discussed it, but pretty sure he's gay. He's been there forever. Seems happy. I mean, what can I say? You don't have to conceal it. But the thing is, people are not going to knock on your door, say, "Hey, are you gay?" It's not like you're going to be, lynched for it or anything. People will just know, and some people will care, and some people won't. The way women are like, they find it, if anything, just maybe cool if you're gay. Okay, lastly, I'll be moving to Osaka or Nagoya, but Osaka has a bigger gay community as well. I'm wondering, do you know anything about the gay scene there? Well, I told you. It exists. That's all I know. Yeah, anyway, will it be hard or easy for me to find a sugoi otokorashi boyfriend? So otokorashi means really manly. So he is looking for a really macho kind of guy. I don't know about that, to be honest. I don't know. Do they have? Well, Mishima, the writer, was really otokorashi. He was a manly man, and he was gay. So there you go. There's my answer for you. Let's go on to one. Let's do another one here. Let's see. That's my own email to myself. What's going on here? Okay. Oh, the guy who gave me this bottle over here emailed to say thank you for hanging out with him that one day. Ray, good to meet you, Ray. He's on his way back. He's studying Japanese, and one of the things I told him was, if you want to study in an interesting, though challenging way, one good thing you could do is you can do this online too, is go to a Japanese bookstore and order a script book of your favorite movie. So if you really like, I don't know, The Matrix for example, or Mission Impossible, whatever, I don't know, Rain Man, you can actually go to a bookstore and buy that book, that script book, and the left side will be all English and the right side will be all Japanese, and there'll be notes in there telling you what are, focusing on the idioms, etc. And that's a great way to study Japanese. Of course, ideally you'll want to buy an international, a region-free DVD player, and a Japanese DVD that has both English and Japanese subtitles, and both English and Japanese dubbed audio, right? Because a great way to study is to play the audio and in both languages. So, for example, if you watch a scene, whatever, The Matrix, and you're watching the interrogation scene, right? My colleagues and I have been watching you, that kind of scene. You're going to want to watch it again in English and then in Japanese, and then with English and English subtitles and English and Japanese subtitles and Japanese and English subtitles, etc. And then read the script, and that's the best way to get a feeling of the meaning. You'll notice quickly that often the subtitles don't match the English. The Japanese won't match the English, but the fukikae, or the dubbed version, will be much closer. Because there's a rule in Japan, so when you're doing subtitles, there's only a certain number of letters can appear on the screen. I think it's 18, but I don't remember. Don't quote me there. A couple of my students have gone on to do that as a job. But with Fukikai, with dubbed audio tracks, there's no rule. So they can say as much as they can fit, in that time period. As long as it kind of matches the voice, the movement of the lips. Anyway, so that's a good way to study. Okay, let's see. Let's go on. Okay, spam, mail, spam. Okay, this is from Devin, and he says, hope all is well. I'm a college student. I'm 21 years old, and I'm strongly considering doing my grad school program in Japan for music composition after finishing up my undergrad school. I really want to write music for a video game company like Namco, Konami, Sega, etc. Being that it is probably safe to assume that the workforce in Japan is much different than here in America, I desire some counsel, LOL. I don't know why people do that. Why throw an LOL in the middle of that? Anyway, I would love to know how to properly go about cold calling, as you call it. I mean, this is the most non-arrogant way, but I am very confident in my skills and my talents that God has blessed me with. I just want to be careful with my approach due to how aggressive Americans are often perceived to be by the Japanese. And I'm black. So there's another possible hindering factor, LOL. I'm black, LOL. I'm not black, LOL. Anyway, I will be in Tokyo this summer studying abroad via IES abroad. I don't know what that is. I've heard of it. I don't remember. Anyway, I would love to visit some of the companies to show my face. 1,000 pardons if that sounds douchebaggish. I don't know how many people you know who are involved in this industry or relative industry, but if you have any connections, I would appreciate it if you could. I would appreciate it ever so greatly. That's weird. I would appreciate ever so greatly. That sounds like Taylor Swift. I'm never, ever getting back together with you again. Devin, I don't have any connections in that field at all. If you're good, put your stuff out on YouTube. Let them find you. Find people who are making video games and offer your services to them. There are a lot of indie video game makers out there. Try to meet them. That's what I'd say. Send your video links. I don't think cold calling would help. Because in that kind of industry, they want to see what you can do, like showing your face. I think if you're really talented and they like what you do and you could speak some Japanese, this is the again and again. This is the question that comes back again and again. The answer is always the same. People ask these I'm sorry stupid questions like, can I become a nurse in Japan? Can I become a doctor in Japan? I had this idiot the other day who He's like the first year in college, and he says, language is not going to be a problem, but can I become an anesthesiologist? And I'm like, well, you can become anything if you can pass their tests. Of course they have tests, just like in America. There's a test to become an anesthesiologist. If you can pass that test in the native language, Japanese, you can probably do it. But that's really hard, A lot of people take the language thing they don't realize how difficult it is. And I'm not talking about just speaking. Speaking is relatively easy. I can speak relatively easy, but even now, unless I really, unless I had to have to brush up for a month before I could get my reading back. I mean, you just, if you stop reading, you forget the kanji. Reading is hard, and when you're taking those tests, there's a lot of specific vocabulary and expressions you have to learn. Basically, senmon yogo or lingo. Specific lingo you have to learn to pass those tests. And I'm sure in any profession, something like music, composition, etc., there's a lot of specific lingo you're going to have to learn. And if you want to work with these people in an office, your Japanese is gonna have to be so good that it's not gonna be a pain in the ass. People don't want to deal with you, or your skills have to be so amazing that they outweigh the fubenna, the inconvenience your language skills will bring to the workplace. So let's say your Japanese is pretty good, but not great, and your music skills are so. What's the point of hiring you? Just hire a Japanese person that you can actually communicate with without any problems. So yeah, unless you're a Mozart, the Mozart of video game music, I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. Okay. Here's another question. Matthew says, I'm planning to move to Japan when I get the chance. I'm planning to move to Japan when I got the chance. Why can't don't people spell check? I was planning to move to Japan when I got the chance. Oh, I guess that's okay. I just misread. And wear this is such a funny question. I was planning to move to Japan when I got the chance and wear glasses. My goal in life is to move to Japan and wear glasses. In the States, I did not wear glasses, but then I moved to Japan and I wore glasses. That's my goal, to do that, to be like you. Anyway, he says, as a fellow person to wear glasses, and he must not be a native speaker. This cannot be, or he's trolling me. As a fellow person to wear glasses, hello, person who wears glasses. Guess what? I wear glasses too. And to have been in Japan for quite a bit of time, I was wondering how to go about getting glasses in Japan. Oh, God. Dude, you just walk into a store that sells glasses and say, hey, I like that pair. And then they'll take you into the back and they'll put this machine on your face and ask you if you can see okay. And all you have to do is this for okay and this for not okay. Or this will work too. This is okay. This is not okay. And they will measure your eyesight and then they will make the lenses for you. Depending on what kind of glasses you're getting, they might make them in an hour or two, or it might take a few days. Okay. I will tell you one thing. Glasses in Japan can be extremely cheap, amazingly cheap. This particular pair cost me $100. Okay, nice pair. This particular pair cost me $90, a little bit less than $100. This other pair over here, with the white on white one side and red on the other, right? They also cost me, I think this cost me $150 maybe. A little bit more stylish, right? So yeah, there are a lot of glasses, pretty cheap you can get. Now, of course, if you're going to get the Giorgio Armani or one of those, those Ray-Bans and stuff, they're going to cost more. These are pretty cool though. These are from a company called Monkey Flip, and I really like them. And they're affordable, and they make glasses in a couple days. And they're only in I think they're actually only in Nagoya, maybe. But anyway, there's another. Oh, what's it called? Jeans. There's another company called Jeans, and they're even cheaper, but they're not as they don't have. These are like pretty funky, right? That Jeans store sells normal, functional, semi-funky glasses. The place that I go to, it's like, imagine a tattoo artist decided to make glasses. That's what it's like. That's what Monkey Flip is like. They're great. Because I'm not going to get a tattoo. Right? Anyway, so you can get them as cheap, and at Jeans, I think you can get them as cheap as maybe $30 a pair. And I've heard a lot of the material comes from Korea, but I'm not sure. Anyway, if you go to Korea, by the way, if you go to Korea, apparently it's even cheaper. And you can get like really cool brand name. One of my students went there. This is funny. One of my students went there, and he came back so happy. He bought 3 pairs of glasses, and he spent $2,000. But before he told me the price, he's like, they were so cheap, and it was $2,000. But they were all brand names. Like I don't remember because I'm not into that. But they were things you would recognize, and I recognize them too. But now I can't remember because it doesn't matter to me. Next question comes from Anthony Turway, who says, Dear Victor, my name is Anthony. I'm a 17-year-old American who has finished high school early. Oh, I finished at 17 too. Anthony, you're not the only one. I intend on making a YouTube channel doing shows fairly often. I have plenty of things to do with it. I don't want to seem too amateurish, though, which will probably be a problem considering I don't even have a camera. other than my laptop, webcam, and phone. That's all you need. If you have an iPhone, that's all you need. Buying these fancy cameras, etc. It's cool and it's nice, but it's not important. Context is everything. Content is king. Please remember that. As long as you have good content, of course, it's nice to have good lighting and a good camera, but the most important thing is content. So work with that for a while until you can afford a nicer camera, but don't get stuck thinking about the technology side of it. Okay, it's a lot of people waste too much time on the technology and they ignore the content. So remember that. That's the best thing I can tell you about that. Let me see what he says. I was wondering if there are any tips. Well, I just gave you a tip. Yeah, that's your tip. And let me see. So along the lines of you watching my videos and giving constructive criticism. Okay. So yeah, he wants to know if I'll watch it. Yeah, send me your video when you're done, Anthony, and I will tell you how bad it sucks. Okay. No, I'll give you constructive criticism if I can. Okay, we're getting towards the end here. William says, "Hi, Victor, Lord King of Morons." Whoa, that is quite a title. Maybe I'll change my name. Not just King of Morons, the Lord King of Morons. I've been following your videos for about a year and a half, and I'm a big fan. Love Tomoko too. Probably love Tomoko more than me. I understand. It's okay. Me too. First, I want to say I'm sorry to hear about Maggie. Yes, my dog died. Yeah. Can you believe I actually cried about that dog yesterday? Again? I mean, I thought it was done. I thought the tears were done. But something I was talking to this neighborhood woman, old friend, got to reminiscing. Anyway, talking about Maggie coming back in as a ghost. How wonderful it would be if we could hear her scratching at the door, I've mentioned this before, but apparently, because Maggie died suddenly, I'm getting off track here, but that's what these videos are for. Because she died suddenly, some people think there's a possibility that she doesn't know she's dead. So she may try to come back into the house. Or she may be confused and she may be trying to scratch, walk around. So we may hear her pitter-patter of her feet. And I thought that would be really nice. And it bugs me that I didn't know she was going to die because it happened suddenly. I feel like I should have, said goodbye. Okay, getting choked up. Excuse me. Let me see. Let's go back to this. Okay, I can see it's a little something, dust in my hair. Regarding teaching Maggie, okay, I have gone through some. Okay, so he had the same experience. Yes. Okay. Whenever you have, by the way, how do you guys deal with grief? For me, the best thing for me to do is ignore the source of the grief and just keep busy. My wife, however, likes to just stare at videos until she cries again and again. So, okay, that's not for me. Regarding teaching, I wanted to ask you a few things about the EFL, ESL situation. English as a foreign language, English as a second language. A bit more about me. I'm an American pursuing my master's in linguistics in California. I am also studying TESOL and minored in Japanese for my undergrad program. For one of my classes, we read an article about willingness to communicate in the Japanese EFL setting. The article was written by a Japanese author in 2002 and discusses how, at that time, Japan's EFL policies were changing to focus more on communication in the classroom. It's always been changing that way, but they've accomplished very little. Okay. Then he quotes it, and he quotes the quote. He cuts and pastes the quote, and he says, this is the quote. In Japan, as the Ministry of Education, Culture... I'll read this. I'll try to read this in an interesting way. In Japan, as the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology's guidelines for foreign language, mostly English teaching within the school education curriculum, Monbusho, the Monbusho is a Ministry of Education, have placed increasing emphasis on communication, a greater portion of textbooks, and classroom activities. Has focused on face-to-face interaction in hypothetical intercultural context situations. It is expected, and this is the important sentence apparently, it is expected that English will cease to be considered as simply a knowledge-based subject, which it has long been in Japan. And William says, the last sentence is what intrigues me. This article was written 12 years ago, And from what I've heard from you, Japanese friends in America and Japan, and friends who are teaching now in Japan through programs like JET, it seems that not much has changed. Yes, not much has changed. So his prediction, this professor who wrote this, is wrong. I mean, he was trying, I guess he was being hopeful, but no, really hasn't changed. Yeah, it seems not how much has changed, no. And students are still not expected to participate or communicate to practice English. In one of your recent videos, you responded to Gaijin Goomba's recount of his experience as an ALT, in which a teacher told him the students would never leave Japan. It's pretty well known that in Japan, as well as Korea and China, the focus is on learning English to pass tests, not to actually learn the language. I know you teach in the ESL setting. I teach in the ESL setting, but I've taught college students. I've taught at colleges and high schools. I know you teach in the ESL setting, so your experience might be different, but I want to get your opinion on these matters. Why is the focus still on learning English for tests? Because these kids want to go to university. That's what they want to do, and the university does not ask you to pass a conversational exam. They just want you to pass a test. There is something called AKEN and JuniQ. They have a level 1, pre-level 1, level 2, and pre-level 2. And if you have pre-level 2, I believe from pre-level 2 up, you have to do an interview. But I know that I have high school teacher friends who tell me they drill their students. They teach them how to pass the test. So those kids can go into a room and say, "Hi, my name is," and they can perform a few tricks in English, and they get to pass. So you could train to pass it and still not be functionally literate or functionally bilingual, just on paper. Okay. Anyway, why is it? Yeah, the focus is on passing tests because people want to go to university, and that's what universities demand. If universities demanded more difficult tests, more conversational tests, maybe that would change. Okay. It seems as though the policy changes have simply resulted in bringing native English speakers as a novelty. I believe you once said they were puppets. Yeah, some of us are treated like puppets in the high schools and junior high schools and elementary schools, but some of us are not. It depends on you. Okay. While I am interested in this topic because of the focus of my term paper, I'm also interested because I'm considering joining a program like JET in the future. JET is a great job, and it depends on the situation where you land and who you're working with. But it's basically a great job because it gives you freedom. They help you with housing. They don't work you to the bone, and the salary is sweet. And after that, you can go off and find some other kind of job. So it's a great way to come into the country. So I would highly recommend it. Let me see. Kind of random, but for other term paper, I'm focusing on Gitaigo Gyongo, so Tomoko's recent video was very helpful. Yeah, Gitaigo Gyongo is onomatopoeia, and Tomoko on Bowie Tomo 0803 is doing a series there. Okay. Anyway, let's see. 2 more here. Veronica says, "Hi, my name is Veronica," and she wants to recommend Kyde and Eric's YouTube channel, which I do not know, Kyde and Eric. But anyway, she's recommending that channel. And there are a couple that do videos apparently in Japan. I've heard from a few other people about them. So if you're interested in watching a couple and watching them enjoy Japan, then check out Kyde and Eric's YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description. Then she also wants to talk about another guy who is angry about something. It's actually kind of a friend of mine or something. I've never really met him, but his name is Ryan Boundless. And he does a video called "Japanese Lady Made My Blood Boil." I've actually seen the video. I remember it, but I don't remember much about it. She just wanted my reaction about it. I've been meaning to do a response to this guy. This is a guy, Ryan Boundless, that makes compelling videos in that I don't always agree with what he has to say, but they do make me think. And they make me want to respond and give my own version of how I would deal with the same situation. And he is a guy living here in Japan. So you can check him out as well. I'll put that video in the description as well. I think we've got one more video. One more question. I'm toward the top. Oh, that's it. Yes, I finished. Okay. I finished one page of questions from Gimmeabreakman at gmail.com. And I know I just did the most recent page. I'm sure there's tons of other questions before that I didn't get to. I apologize. I haven't gotten to any of the questions on Facebook in about a month because there's so many. but I'm trying to catch up. Anyway, this is what a laundry vlog looks like. I thought I should initiate the Gimmeabreakman channel with its first laundry vlog now that I'm doing this kind of vlog on this channel and no longer on Gimmeabreakman. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. Do I have any questions? Let me see. How would you? Well, what can I tell you about? What should I ask you about? What do you drink? What do you drink? What kind of drinkers you guys? Beer? Non-alcohol? You're a teetotaler? What do you drink? When you want to relax on a hot day, what do you have to drink? Let me know. I guess you wouldn't drink whiskey on a hot day, but let me know what you enjoy drinking. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Yeah.